What is up guys, Andy Forest Runner here, and today we're talking all about the ATREYU Standard Colourway running shoe after 100 miles. So Monday's 9.5 mile run took us well over the 100 mile mark, 107 miles to be precise, in the ATREYU Standard Colourway running shoe. And today, as always, like every other shoe we review, we're going to be going through the pros, the cons, the wear and tear, how this thing is held up over 100 miles, and if I recommend it, and of course if I'll be using it moving forward. So if you're excited for today's video guys, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and we'll start with the wear and tear. So I'm going to start off this section slightly differently. Normally what we do is we say wear and tear. We go through the upper, the outsole, the midsole. We'll talk about all of that stuff, and we will do that very shortly. But what I want to just state very quickly before we get into this is ATREYU themselves have been very, very kind, taking the time to watch some of the videos that I've made on their shoe and commented back to some of my comments, and also responded to some of you guys and some of your questions that you've had on the previous speed and long run test and the first impressions. And one of the comments that those guys made was they anticipate this shoe, their base model they call it, to last roughly between 150 to 200 miles. Now the whole concept, if you are new to ATREYU, is that you can get these shoes on monthly subscription for $55. $55. In UK that's like 40, 45 pounds. That's ridiculous. Then plus a bit of shipping. But what you do with that monthly cost is you get a brand new pair of shoes every single month. But with that means that the durability on these shoes isn't quite as high as you'd maybe expect from something like a Saucony Kinvara, an Asics GT200, you know, some of those really well-built shoes that you're going to get hundreds and hundreds of miles from. But that's fine. I just want to make you guys aware that's the case, to show you some of the wear and tear. Some of you might kind of question, wow, that's quite a lot of wear on the outsole, which I'll show you shortly. It's just kind of explaining the process of this shoe and how it works. So in terms of wear and tear on the upper though, it is very, very, very dirty. This was white. It's no longer white at all. This thing has been on trails, dry buffed out trails. It's collected a lot of dust, a lot of dirt, wet roads, dry roads, hills, you name it, this shoe has done it. The upper is holding up really, really nicely. As I said, it looks really, really dirty. It's just not snagging, snaring, stretching. No seams are coming loose whatsoever. It's looking really, really well. Appearance wise, it looks dirty, but other than that, it's holding up really, really well. In terms of the outsole, there's no rubber outsole covering on here whatsoever. So what we'll do is I'll point to this section here, because this is the main wear and tear for me. There is no, as I said, rubber outsole. We'll go from the heel up. So you can see that I've got quite a bit of wear and tear in the heel area. That's from doing a lot of the hills, get a bit sloppy going down the hills, fall back on my heel a little bit. Pleased to say this thing has enough cushion in it to support you in that area. Then just general wear and tear in this middle section here, because predominantly I'm a mid-foot to forefoot striker, and you can see the main bulk of the wear, especially when I'm running on the roads and the trails, is happening in and around this area. And then I've got quite a bit of substantial wear down that side where I'm landing on the outside and rolling in, and then some on the toe off as well. So again, that's kind of what I want to highlight. The durability factor of this shoe is that this might look to some of you like quite a lot of wear and tear, but if you're anticipating getting 150 to 200 miles out of this shoe, then this is going to be quite standard at this point. And I'll be honest with you, I anticipate that it can go a fair few more miles. I'm not noticing any deterioration in terms of performance whatsoever. It's more aesthetically, it looks worse than it is. So in terms of wear and tear, it's doing really well. As I said, the outsole, yeah, it's showing some good signs of wear and tear, but on the whole, everything else is holding up nicely. So how have I been using this shoe? Where is its sweet spot? How will I be using it moving forward? Well, to be honest with you, I've used this thing for absolutely everything. This thing has done dry roads, dry trails, mildly wet trails, hills, flats, everything. There's not a run that I haven't done in this shoe. Tempo work, speed work, easy runs. It very much is a jack of all trades shoe, which is great. It's one of those shoes that you want in your arsenal. A little bit like the New Balance Fuel Cell Prism. That shoe has just been used for everything. It's a shoe that I can gravitate towards. I don't have to think, what session have I got today? What run have I got today? What shoe should I wear? I could just think, I'm going to wear the ATREYUs today, or, you know, the New Balance Fuel Cell Prisms. It's one of those shoes that slots into that category really, really nicely, which I like personally because it just doesn't give you that headache of, oh man, which shoe am I going to use today? One thing I have to say about this shoe, it's different to any shoe that I've tried this year. This thing lights a fire inside of me. Let me try and explain this in the best way possible. When I'm using this shoe, I feel like a kid. All right, I feel the mentality, the design, the concept, everything about this shoe is stripped back, bare bones racing. You guys probably, hopefully, may have watched my race with Matt a few last week or whenever it was. So whenever you might be watching this in the future, 16:34 5K around Lydney Lake with the Welsh runner. You can search it up on the channel. It very much was the case of we're in lockdown, races aren't back yet. Do you know what? Me versus you. We're going to go and race. Lamppost to lamppost, just go. It's that mentality. We were like, right, 7 laps around the lake, go. It's a real kind of, it gets you going. And this thing does the same. It's stripped back, bare bones racing, just kind of, wow. It gets something inside of me. So I get really excited when I do wear this shoe. There's no bells, there's no whistles, there's no fancy technology. It just does what it says on the tin. It's a stripped back, lightweight, the lightest shoe I have in my rotation, lighter than the next percent running shoe that just does the job. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've got to say, its sweet spot definitely is speed work for me. I've loved it on tempo runs. I've loved it on some of the marathon workouts I've been doing, 4x10 minutes, 3x10 minutes, those type of workouts. This thing has come to life. Yes, it does easy days. I enjoy it. It's not the best experience for me in terms of the whole range of emotions that I get when I use it for tempo runs and stuff like that is where the fire is properly stoked and lit. Easy runs, it's great, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just feel like this is a shoe, not only can I reach for it in every day, but I would get super excited for it on a speedier day. So as I said, it's done everything. It's done a long run, obviously. It's done lots of speed workouts, lots of easy runs, lots of anything. And I'll be honest with you, there's not one type of run that I couldn't recommend this for. This really is just about everything. And finally, will I be using this shoe moving forward? What I want to do right now is moving into September and October is I want to kind of, I know a lot of you might be disappointed with this, but I want to dial back a little bit on buying the shoes. I've got another shoe coming in for testing soon, but I now have all of my shoes up to 100 miles and there's a select few that I want to try and take above 100 and really push and see how far I can take them. And this one is on the hit list. I want to see if I can get it to that 150, 200 mile mark. I don't know if it will happen. I don't know if time will permit. I don't know if more shoes will end up coming in for review, but either way, I have intentions of using it moving forward. It's definitely a top 5 shoe of the year for me, something that I'm looking at going. Nova Blast, Endorphin Speed, ATREYU, Prism, they're all up there. They're kind of a next level above some of the other shoes that I've tested this year. So I would love to use this shoe moving forward. I do intend on using it more. How far we'll get with it, I just don't know, but I'd love to use it until the end of its life. And once I've used it to the end of its life, I'll tell you something, I'm going to be washing this thing and using it for casual wear because damn, it looks flipping good casually with a pair of jeans. I really chuck this through the washing machine, get it white again, it will look really smart. So yes, I will be using it again, very much intentionally to try and get some more speed work done, especially over the winter. I feel secure and confident on those wetter roads. I'll certainly be using this thing for that. So there we go, that's my overall wrap up of the ATREYU running shoe. We've done the first impression speed and long run test and now the after 100 mile review. A shoe that has taken me by surprise. It really is that good. I've really enjoyed it that much. I'm super excited for their offering of a racing shoe. It looks epic and if I can do whatever I can to get my hands on it, I will because I'd love to test it for you guys. I reckon it's going to be an absolute gem, but of course we'll have to wait and see if I can get hold of it and if I can, you guys know I will give it a good test for you. Let me know in the comments below if you've managed to try ATREYU, if you've managed to sign up for their subscription. They've got some awesome colorways coming out now. They launched with the 3 basic colorways. They've now got more epic. There's a green and a pink one. There's just, it looks so good. They're really getting into their stride and I'm super excited for this new company to get into their stride, to maybe start having 2, 3, 4 models in their rotation and see what the future holds for them. Because to be perfectly honest with you, if this is the start, I can't wait to see what the future holds for them. So let me know, as I said, in the comments below, if you've run in them, what you think. Let me know. If you enjoyed today's video, guys, give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Until then.